Welcome to all of our 9th to 10th students of our school. Today I am going to teach about the acoustics of physics. Acoustics is a major sub-branch of our physics that is going to deal about sound, how the sound is produced, how the sound is transmitted from one place to another place, how the sound is received, and we can change the effect of the sound. Everything we are going to see in our lesson called as acoustics. So here the sound waves, which one is produced? One example is there, a loudspeaker we have. The loudspeaker can be produce a sound waves. If you hear the sound which we produced from our loudspeaker, that can be heard very clearly. So for that acoustics we have certain definition that we are going to see. That acoustics is one of the branch of science that is in physics. We are going to deal about the production, reception, transmission, control and effects of the sound, that is called as acoustics. Now we are going to write that acoustics definition. Acoustics is a branch of physics that deals about production, transmission, then reception, then we can control the sound, and the effects of sound. So majorly in our acoustics we are going to deal about that sound. It is one of the mechanical wave which requires a medium. Without medium, the sound waves cannot be propagated from one place to another place. Anyway, once again listen the definition of our acoustics. Acoustics is a branch of physics that deals about the production, transmission, reception, control and effects of sound. For we have one example. Suppose the sound is produced from a loudspeaker that is going to place in front of one of that air column. Another end we are going to hear at the time of producing sound. At the momently we will receive the sound in our ears. We have a diagram. Initially we are going to take an air column. Initially air molecules are spreaded uniformly. Now we are going to place the speaker at this one end. There we have a diaphragm. It is going to vibrate to produce a sound. The vibrated diaphragm makes to move the air molecule forwarded and produce the vibration of that air molecule and reaches that second end. If we stand here, we can hear that sound. At the time, the air molecules already which are uniformly spreaded or changed their pattern. At that you can take at this region the air molecules completely compressed state. Another thing here, the air molecules is a somewhat spreaded region. Another alternately completely compressed. Another thing is makes a rarefactions and compressions. So where the air molecules completely in a compressed state, that we have a name called as a compression, where the air molecules are spreaded out, that is called as a rarefaction. Sound is transmitted by the vibration of that air molecule from the transmitter to that receiver. In that we have a two pattern. One is a compressed state, air molecules are compressed. Another thing is air molecules are spreaded. Then alternately like that, forming that vibrations and reaches that opposite end. If we stand there, we can hear that what sound is produced in our loudspeaker, that we can hear it. That is the total simple example of this sound produced, sound received and transmission. For transmission of that sound, we require definitely a medium. Without medium, we cannot transmit that sound waves. Then only that sound can be transmitted from a source to that receiver. So here compression and rarefactions are formed. So this is a one kind of a wave. There air molecules are vibrated front and back, like that the air molecules are vibrating. So it forms a compression and rarefactions. Like this compressions and rarefactions are forms. This is one type of wave. So sound wave is a longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave. In our longitudinal waves, medium particles are vibrating along the direction of the propagation. This is called as a direction of the propagation. From a source to that receiver, the wave is moving. So that's why the sound wave is a longitudinal waves. There we have a vibration of that particle. In this medium particle, vibrate in the direction of propagation. Okay, the sound waves is a longitudinal waves. In any medium, the sound waves are propagated means the medium particles are vibrated. That vibration of that particle is along the direction of that propagation. In the direction of the propagation only, the air molecules are vibrating. So that's why sound wave is one of the best example for that longitudinal waves. So another type of wave we have, that is called as a transverse wave. That transverse wave example is light wave, we can say. In a light, the energy is transmitted from a source to that receiver. At the time, through which medium the light is transmitted, that medium particle is vibrated perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. So here medium particle vibrates in the perpendicular direction to the direction of the propagation. So based on that particle vibrations, we have here two waves, longitudinal waves and transverse waves. In a longitudinal waves, particles vibrated along the direction of that propagation. But in a transverse wave, particles are vibrating perpendicular to the direction of that propagation. So that's why they are classifying longitudinal waves. The sound is a longitudinal waves, light is a transverse waves. Now we are going to see about that diagram for that transverse waves, how the transverse waves are produced, through which one the transverse waves are produced, we are going to see. Suppose we are going to take on one of that lengthy rope, that is the rope is certain length, at one end we are attaching. Example, first end is taken as a, second end is taken as a B, then the rope's B end is attached to that rigid wall. Now we are going to stand here. We will extended that rope straightly. Now we will gently move up and down momentarily. At the time that wave is going to start at where we are giving the disturbance. We are given the disturbance at that A end. That's why the wave is started from A, going to reach at that B end. So that's why the wave is moving like that. Okay. In that, from the origin, above the origin, the wave is produced like that. This can be called as a crest. And below the origin, wave is formed like that. That is called as a trough. Alternately, crest and troughs are formed in our transverse waves. But the medium, the rope is going to move up and down. The rope particles are moving up and down. That's why here we are saying medium particles are vibrating perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. Perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. So we have a difference between that longitudinal waves and transverse waves. Medium particle in a longitudinal wave is vibrated along the direction of the propagation, but in a transverse waves, medium particle is vibrated perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. So the best example for the longitudinal wave is sound waves, and the best example for the transverse wave is a light wave. And there we have in a longitudinal waves, compressions and rarefactions are formed alternately, but in our transverse waves, crest and troughs are formed. Whatever may be that, alternately the crest and troughs are formed. Then here we can take one crest and one trough to combine form a one complete wave. May called as a full wave. In a full wave, one crest, another one trough. If you take on a longitudinal waves, in a full wave we have one compression and one rarefactions. Anyhow, it is a one complete wave we can take on. In a both one, that is for in a longitudinal and transverse wave, one complete wave has two kinds. That is in transverse is a crest and trough, longitudinal is a compression and rarefactions. Anyhow, length of one complete wave we have. Is called wavelength. Length of one complete wave in both longitudinal and transverse, length of one complete wave is called as a wavelength, named as a symbol lambda. We have a unit for that wavelength. Okay, this is one of the most important physical quantity in our wave propagation, that is a wavelength. Another one we have, another important physical quantity, that is called as a time period. Is mentioned as a capital T. For the propagation of the wave, there we have crest and trough. From the beginning to complete one wave, it will take some time. What time it takes, that is called as a time period. So it can be defined as a okay. The time period is nothing but time taken to complete wave is called as a time period. There we have unit for the time period also. That is symbol is capital T. It is in second because it is a time. Next, another important factor we have, that is called as a frequency. The frequency may be represented in small n or nu symbol. Small n or nu symbol we are using for the frequency. What is nothing but a frequency means number of waves completed per second. If the wave is propagating in a medium, in a second, that wave can be reaches in a certain distance. In that certain distance, how many number of waves are produced, that is called as a frequency. So we can define frequency is nothing but number of waves produced per second, and we have that unit for that frequency. That is unit is hertz. Honor of that one of the scientists Hertz, we are giving that unit for frequency as a hertz. Then based on that frequency value, we have the energy of that wave. If the frequency of that wave is somewhat 20 to 20 kilohertz, that is 20,000 hertz means that has a certain energy, can able to hear us. Other than that, if it is less than that 20 hertz, we cannot hear. So based on that categories of the frequency range, we are going to categorize that sound waves in three types. Categories of the sound waves based on the frequency range. We have three categories. Someone can be heard clearly because of they have enough energy to reach us. That is called as a audible wave. These audible waves can be reaches clearly. That is having a certain energy as well as the frequency. That audible waves having a frequency is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. It may be taken as 20 kilohertz is the audible range of the frequency. These frequency sound waves can be heard clearly for us. Other than that, below that and above that, they are not reaches. So which one has less than this 20 hertz frequency, that will not reach us because that has very least amount of energy. That may be called as second one. Infrasonic waves. Infrasonic waves are waves which has frequency below the 20 Hz. These infrasonic waves we cannot hear. We cannot hear that infrasonic waves. Which one we can produce these infrasonic waves means at the time of earthquake, otherwise ocean waves can produce that infrasonic waves which are having frequencies below the 20 Hz, but we cannot hear that. Okay. Next one is above the 20 kilohertz we have another type of wave called as ultrasonic waves. These waves may having a much larger amount of energy, but we cannot detect this because beyond the range that has energy. So that energies can be generated and received by the bats, easily travel for the bats. They are using that ultrasonic waves. For the ultrasonic waves, we have a frequency above the 20 kilohertz. This range of frequency wave is generated by bats. Bats can be produced and received. Bats can be produce these ultrasonic waves and can be received. So for that propagation from one place to the another place, for moving of the bats from one place to another place, that bats are generating that ultrasonic waves and given in forward. If it is reflected and reach the same bat, so there we have obstacles it identified and turn its direction. Then for a traveling purpose of that bats, they are using that ultrasonic waves we can take in. So we have completed three categories of the sound waves, that is audible waves, infrasonic waves and ultrasonic waves. In all the three categories, sound waves are produced from the source and reaches the receiver. Between that we have a transmission medium. Whatever may be that, the source, one of the part is going to vibrate, then only that sound is produced. Example, if the loudspeaker is operated, there we have a diaphragm. The diaphragm is vibrate. That vibrating diaphragm produce a sound waves. Okay. At the time of vibrations, that vibrating body emit energy. That energy is propagated from transmitter to receiver through a medium. We required a medium for the sound propagation. Medium for the sound propagation. Without medium, we cannot propagate the sound waves. So that's why sound waves are called as a mechanical waves. But in a light, we does not require a medium. Without medium, light can be traveled from source to that receiver. So that's why light is called as a non-mechanical wave. Non-mechanical wave, that is not a mechanical wave. So we have some difference between sound waves and light waves, that we are going to see that. So we have some number of differences there, but anyway we are going to see that 4 difference. what is the first one means the sound requires a medium. Because of mechanical wave, sound requires a medium. Light is a non-mechanical wave. It does not require a medium. So that is the first point. But for propagation, okay, sound requires a medium for the propagation and light does not require a medium for the propagation. So second point is, we know that sound waves are moves from a transmitter to receiver as like that compressions and rarefactions. So in a which wave the compressions and rarefactions are produced, that are called as a longitudinal waves. But in a light, vibrations are produced, their medium particles are vibrated perpendicular to the direction of the propagations. There we have crest and trough. So that's why sound is a longitudinal wave. Then in light is a transverse wave. Okay. Next point we have about a wavelength. We have certain range of wavelength for that sound waves. Is a larger wavelength wave is a sound wave. Shorter wavelength wave is a light waves. We have certain range, that is a so wavelength of that sound wave is ranges from 1.65 centimeter to 1.65 meter. But in a light, wavelength ranges from, is a shorter wavelength wave, that is light wave is, that is from 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter to 7 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Nearly, that is less than that micrometer that light has a wavelength, that is 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter to 7 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter is the wavelength of that light. But in our sound, wavelength is from 1.65 centimeter to 1.65 meter. So it is a very larger wavelength. Sound waves having a very larger wavelength. Anyhow, these sound waves and light waves both can be travelled in a air medium, but their velocities are differ. Their sound wave velocity. Fourth point is velocity is 340 meter per second. The unit of that velocity is meter per second. 340 meter per second at NTP. That is, NTP is nothing but normal temperature and pressure. Normal atmospheric temperature and pressure. The sound can be travelled in a velocity 340 meter per second. Anyhow, in that same at NTP, the sound, that is the light waves, can be travelled from a transmitter to receiver in air is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. It is the velocity of light in air. The velocity of sound in air is 340 meter per second at NTP. At that same NTP, the light waves can be traveled, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in air medium. It is light is moving a very larger velocity as compared to that sound waves. Sound wave velocity is 340 meter per second, but light wave velocity is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, nearly 300 mega value is there. So that's why very high speed for that light, very slow speed for that sound in air medium. So that is the difference between that sound and light. Once again we can see that there we have a difference of sound and light. For the propagation purpose of that sound, we require definitely medium. For the propagation of that light, we does not require a medium. Without material medium, light can be traveled from transmitter to the receiver. Then the sound waves moves like a longitudinal waves, but light waves moves as like that transverse waves. There we have a wavelength range. For that sound waves, wavelength is from 1.65 centimeter to that 1.65 meter, but wavelength of that light is very small, that is 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter to 7 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Then we have the velocity for that sound and that light. There for a sound in air at NTP is velocity value 340 meter per second, but for a light 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in air at NTP. NTP is nothing but normal temperature and pressure, normal atmospheric temperature and pressure, their velocities we have. At the time of propagation of both transverse wave and longitudinal waves, medium particles vibrated, and as well as through the medium the waves can be propagated in a certain velocity. That's why velocities are classified into two types, but here we are going to see about that sound waves. So that's why we are saying velocity of sound waves. There we have a two velocities, namely particle velocity and wave velocity. These are most important factors. So what is the meaning of particle velocity means? Suppose example, in air medium, the sound wave is traveled from source to that receiver. At the time, air molecules in our air medium makes a vibrations. There the particles are vibrating based on that origin, front and back they are vibrating. So that's why that velocity, in which velocity the particles are vibrating, that are called as a particle velocity. At the same time, sound is traveled from source to the receiver. In which velocity the sound is traveled from a source to the receiver, that is called as a wave velocity. So we are going to define that particle velocity and wave velocity. That is velocity with which the particles of the medium vibrates in order to transfer the energy. Energy as in the form of waves is called particle velocity. So once again listen that definition. The particle velocity we are going to define velocity with which that particles of the medium vibrates in order to transfer the energy as in the form of a wave. Here sound means that wave is here, sound waves. Sound waves is called as a particle velocity. That particle velocity is differ from that wave velocity, because particle velocity is not a constant value. It can be varies from 0 to certain maximum. At the time of vibration, their velocity is varies from 0 to certain maximum, but wave velocity is remains constant in a given medium. Suppose in a air medium, the sound wave velocity is 340 meter per second at NTP. If the temperature varies, the sound wave velocity also varies. Anyway, particle velocity can be taken that variable value. Then we have that wave velocity. That wave velocity is nothing but velocity with which the wave, I mean here we are going to take on the sound wave propagate from source to the receiver, source to the receiver. Velocity with which that wave propagated from source to the receiver is called wave velocity. Wave velocity. So we have difference between that particle velocity and wave velocity. In which velocity the particles are vibrating, that is called as a particle velocity. In which velocity wave is propagating through a medium from the source to the receiver, then that velocity is called as a wave velocity. So this wave velocity going to symbolized as small v, that can be taken as distance by time taken. That can be taken as distance by time taken. Then we have the unit for that velocity, that is meter per second. Unit for that velocity is a meter per second. This velocity also we can express in the terms of wavelength and time period. Wavelength and time period. We are going to derive the formula for that velocity. We know that the formula is velocity is equal to distance by time. That we are going to express in terms of wavelength and time period. We know that length of one complete wave is called as a wavelength. In our transverse wave, one crest and one trough combined, it is a complete wave. Then its length is called wavelength. That symbol is lambda. Wavelength symbol is lambda. Then we have time taken to complete one full wave is called as a time period, that is expressed in T. Okay. So based on that is a distance of that one complete wave. It is a time taken to complete one wave. That's why velocity equal to distance by time. That distance is taken in terms of wavelength divided by time is taken in the time period. V is equal to lambda divided by capital T is one of the expression for that velocity of that wave. Then we have relation between time period and frequency, relation between time period and frequency. Then the frequency is simple as n, that is going to given in the terms of time period, n is equal to 1 by t. So in time period we are going to substitute that frequency. There we have that v is equal to lambda into 1 by t. Instead of 1 by t we can substitute that frequency, then we will get n lambda. So v is equal to lambda by t and is equal to n lambda. This is the formula for finding that velocity of that wave. In terms of wavelength and time period we have the velocity formula, and in terms of that frequency and wavelength we have a velocity formula. Anyhow, that suppose the given value is in a wavelength and a time period, we use this formula. Suppose our given value is a frequency and wavelength, we can use this formula, v is equal to n lambda. This is the relation between velocity, time period, wavelength as well as that frequency. Next we are going to see about the velocity of that sound is depends upon what are the factors. The factors which affects the velocity of the sound we are going to deal. There we have a sum of the factors, that is due to that temperature velocity of the wave is changes, due to that elastic nature of that medium in which they are propagating, their velocity is changes, and depends upon that density of the medium, their velocity is going to changes. So we are going to list out that factors affecting that velocity of that sound. We are going to see about the factors affecting that velocity of the sound. One is elastic nature of the medium. Second one is density of the medium. Third one is temperature of the medium. Fourth one also we have, based on the humidity, the velocity of the sound is going to changes. So when that sound wave is propagated from one place to another place, that may be varies. When that source can be produced in a same frequency, that depends upon that elastic nature of the medium, density of the medium, temperature of the medium, humidity of the medium. Then elastic nature, which one has a more elastic nature, means solutes having more elastic nature than gases and liquids. So that's why we have more elastic nature for that solutes, their velocity is more. So we have simple to that v suffix s may called as a velocity of the sound wave in solutes, that is greater than velocity of that sound waves in a liquids. As compared to the solutes, liquids having a less elastic nature, and then as compared to the liquids, gases having a least elastic nature. That's why we are relating that velocity of the sound in solutes, liquids and gases can be taken as like that. Because of that more elastic nature for that solutes, their velocity of that sound wave is more. Least elastic nature for that gases, that's why in a gas velocity of the sound wave is less. and density of the medium. We can take on that density as a symbol d. Based on that density, we can say the sound wave velocity. So we have lesser density medium, the sound waves can be traveled faster. If the density of the medium is more, sound waves can be moves slower. That's why we have that relation of that velocity of that density to that velocity can be taken as v proportional to 1 by root d, that is named as velocity of the sound wave is inversely proportional to that square root of that density, inversely proportional to the square root of that density. And another thing, we have that sound wave propagation velocity is depends upon the temperature of that medium also. There we can say that velocity of the sound wave directly proportional to that square root of that temperature. There the temperature should be taken in SI unit. SI unit is in a Kelvin scale. Example, 0 degree Celsius is taken as 273 Kelvin. Like that we can express. So for a certain T degree Celsius, velocity can be related at 0 degree Celsius. There we have a formula V suffix T equal to V naught plus 0.61 into capital T. That is the temperature of that medium at that certain temperature, and their velocity is measured in the terms of this value. We have the formula to find the velocity of that sound waves in a certain temperature, that is Vt is equal to V naught plus 0.61 into temperature into, that is a meter per second we are going to say. So this is the formula for finding that velocity of the sound wave in a certain temperature. Next, if in a medium humidity is increases, density of the medium is decreases. Density of the medium decreases. Density and velocities are inversely proportional. We know that increasing the humidity, decreasing the density, and increasing the velocity. So the factors affecting the velocity of the sound, we have four things: is the elastic nature of that medium, density of that medium, temperature of the medium, and humidity of the medium. For that elastic nature of that medium, we are saying solutes having more elastic nature, so that's why their velocity is greater. Gases has very least elastic nature, that's why there we have a less velocity. And we have, based on the density and the velocity of the wave is inversely proportional to the square root of that density of the medium. Then the temperature of the medium and velocity is going to related. Velocity of the sound waves is directly proportional to that square root of that temperature. That temperature should be taken in a Kelvin scale, that is the SI unit. Then for calculating that velocity of the sound in a T degree Celsius, Vt is equal to V naught plus 0.61 T. There we have a formula for the calculation. Then based on the humidity, increasing the humidity, decreasing the density, then we know that increasing the velocity of that sound waves. So we have completed about that a definition of that acoustics, then types of waves, that is sound waves and light waves. They are longitudinal waves, that is sound wave is a longitudinal waves, light wave is a transverse waves, and about that velocities and the factors affecting we are going to complete. So you have to go through book very clearly, and if you have any other idea means we can discuss in our next session. Okay, thank you for all.